Hello students, welcome to your science channel. So today we are going to discuss about the cell and structure and its functions. So today is the third part of this chapter. So in the previous day I have discussed about, let's see what we have discussed. So I have discussed about the plant cells, how it looks like, how the animal cell, this is the animal cell, and how it's look like. The plant cell, okay, and a video where we have seen the activity of how to check, how to view the plant cell of the onion peels, and I have shown another video in which the activity has been shown, that is how to check the human chick cell through the microscope. Okay, and we discuss about the prokaryotic cell and eukaryotic cell. What is prokaryotic and what is eukaryotic? Okay, so if you have not watched this video, so click on the I button, you get the link here, click on the I button and you get the link. Okay, so let's start our today's lesson. So today we are going to start about that the different types of cells. So let's start. As you all know that all the living beings, all the living beings are made up of a basic thing. What is the basic thing? The basic thing is cell, right? The basic thing is cell. This is the basic unit of a living beings. So in that case, different organisms have different number of cells, and different organisms have different sizes and shapes of cell. So the different number of cells, so as we know that, as I have said, the different organisms have different number of cells. So depending on the number of cells of a body of the organism is called unicellular and multicellular. What is unicellular? The organisms which are made up of only one cell are called unicellular. Only one cell, okay, is called as unicellular. Understood? So the example of the unicellular is bacteria. Bacteria has only one cell. Amoeba. Amoeba is also a one cell organism. Then euglena. Euglena is also unicellular organisms. Okay, and what is for before that, before discussing about the multicellular, unicellular organisms is a self-dependent organism. That means it can perform all life functions without helping from other cells. So for amoeba, amoeba is a very tiny animal which has only one cell, but it can perform all the life functions. Amoeba has only one cell. Amoeba has only one cell, but it can perform all the life functions like digestion, respiration. It can take food. It can respond. It can take reproduction can take place through the amoeba. Okay. So now we are going to discuss about the organisms which made up of many cells. Many cells. So the organisms which made up of many cells are called multicellular organisms. So what are the examples? See the examples. What will be the examples? So the examples of multicellular organisms are human beings. Human has many cells in their body. So human, trees, okay, trees, tiger, means animals, rat, then elephant. Okay, so these are the examples of multicellular organisms. So the number of cells depends on the size. So the number of the cells depends on the size. That means if the size of a animal is large, if a if the size of the animal is large, that means it has more cell. Okay, and if the size of the animal is small, that means it has small number of cells. Okay, just like example of rat. Small animal is rat or mosquito, right? So it has only a few cells, and the large animal like elephant, ostrich, they have many cells. Understood that things? So the number of cells depends on the sizes. Okay, but at the beginning of the life of any animal, at the beginning, you should note that at the beginning of any life, at the beginning of any life, it has only one cell, okay, present in their body. So this cell is named as fertilized egg cell. Fertilized egg cell, egg cell, or you can say that is zygotes. Okay, so this is the beginning cell of any life. So the zygote divides or multiplies due to which the large number of cell produces. Okay, so when at the beginning there is only one cell, that is fertilized egg cell or zygote, then it divides into many cells. Okay, then it divides into many cells. By this way, it multiplies with large number. Okay, now you will understand that how number of cells produced from only one cell. Okay, let us going to talk about the different shape of cells. Okay, so different parts of our body have different shapes of cell, just like muscle cell. Muscle cell, let's see, muscle cells are looks like this. So the both end is look like a point for the muscle cell. Okay, so muscle cell look like this. As you can see, this is the muscle cell. Okay, and another cell is nerve cell. This is the nerve cell. This one is the nerve cell. So see, all the different shapes, all the different cells are different shapes, right? So they have different functions. Like nerve cell receive and transmit the signal from the brain. Okay, muscle cell helps to move to motion of the body. Okay, some examples of animal cell, that means some different types of cells is nerve cell, muscle cell, that means red blood cell and white tick cell. Okay, and white blood cell. So these are the examples of that is called animal cell. So nerve cell is very long. Nerve cell is also called, that is nerve cell is also called neuron. Okay, so nerve cell is very long, and so that it is adapted for transmitting the signals from the brain. Okay, and it is receiving from our body signals also, and it transmit to the brain. Muscle cell have a special property that they can contract or expand. So by contraction and expansion, the body parts move. Red blood cell is spherical in shape, and it carries the oxygen to the body parts. Okay, white blood cell is to protect our body from the different types of bacteria. So these are the functions of different shape of cells. Let's see some examples of plant cell. So this picture I have collected from the book. Okay, so the first picture is epidermal cell. First picture is epidermal cell. So some examples of plant cell are epidermal cell, xylem cell, okay, phloem cell, and photosynthetic cells. So before that, you have to know that in the human body there are 20 types of cell. in the human body there are 20 types of cell. Okay, so let's see what are the plant cell. Now we have we know that there are xylem cell and phloem cell, photosynthetic cell and epidemic cells are the plant cell. Okay, different shapes of plant cell, so they have different functions. Okay, so epidermal cell is present in the layer of the plant organisms. That is why epidermal cell protects the cells below it. Okay, this is the function of epidermal cell. So what is the function? Its function is to protect the other cell which is below it, because it is present in the layer of the plant organs. What is the function of xylem cell? Xylem cell is thick and strong tube like things. Okay, it carries out the water and the soil from the ground with the help of roots, and it transmit it to the leaves of the plant. Okay, and what is the phloem cell? Phloem cell is thin tube like things, but it is not strong that much. So its function is, that is, to carry out the foods from the leaves to the body parts. Okay, this is the function of phloem. Let's see what is the function of photosynthesis. Can you say it? Can you answer it? That what is the function of photosynthesis? The function of photosynthesis, photosynthetic cell, is to make the process photosynthesis, which helps to make the food for the plants. Okay, so photosynthetic cells are present in the leaves. It helps to make the food for the plant organs. Okay, so these are the various types of plant cell, and that is called animal cell, and these are the sizes of different types of shapes of animal cell and plant cell. So as you know that amoeba is a single cell, right? It consists only one cell. Okay, amoeba consists only one cell, but it is not dependent on other cells. It is independent. But the plant cells, which is multicellular cells, are not capable to exist independently, but amoeba cells can exist independently. So it has a special property that it can change its shape. It is an irregular shape. It can change its shape when it wants, by changing the flow of cytoplasm which is inside it. So by changing the flow of cytoplasm, it can change its shape. So it has a finger like things, right? Finger like things. So these are called pseudopodia. By this pseudopodia, it can move from one position to another position, and by this amoeba can capture the foods. Okay, so this is the functions of amoeba. So let's see what are the various sizes of cell. So there are different sizes, as there are different types of cell. Size of the cell may be 10 to the power minus 6 meter. Now you can imagine that how the small the cell is. Okay, so can you know what is the 1 meter? How long is the 1 meter? So if you have a plastic scale, ruler scale of made up of steel, so it is almost 30 centimeter. So by combining three scales, it is not cell, it is scale. So by combining that type of scale, you get 1 meter. Okay, this is 1 meter, and here it is written that 10 to the power minus 6 meter. That means you have to divide it by 10 lakhs. 10 lakhs. So if you divide 1 meter into 10 lakhs parts, so you get the size of is such a small that you cannot see it with your naked eye. So you have to use the micrometer to see those parts. So cell is also very, very small. That cell cannot be seen with the naked eye. So we use microscope to view the cells. But some of the cells are large, means a few centimeter. Okay, so bacteria cells have a length that is 1 it is what 10 to the power minus 6 meter is called 1 micrometer. Okay, 1 micrometer. So bacteria have a size 1 micrometer, smaller than this also. Okay, and the human human and the bacteria, the size of the bacteria may 1 micron to 5 micron. Okay, 1 micron to 5 micron. Let's see what is the smallest cell. The smallest cell is bacteria mycoplasma. The name of the smallest cell is bacteria mycoplasma. Okay, the size of the cell of bacteria mycoplasma is 10 to the 1 micron. That means 1 micron means 10 to the power minus 6 meter. Okay, 1 micron means 10 to the power minus 6 meter. But the size of the bacteria mycoplasma is 0.1 micrometer. Okay, the size of the bacteria mycoplasma is 0.1 micrometer. That means 10 to the power minus 7. If you divide 1 meter by this number, you get the size. Okay, so this is very small. This is the smallest cell of this is the smallest cell. Okay, let's see what is the largest cell present in the universe. So the largest cell, there are many large cells present in the that means atmosphere in nature. That is bird eggs. Okay, bird's egg. Bird's egg is also the large cells which we can see by our naked eye. Okay, we cannot use microscope to see the eggs, of bird, right? Birds eggs can easily can be seen by us, right? So what is the biggest cell? Biggest cell is ostrich, the egg of ostrich. Okay, you can imagine that how big the size is of the egg. The size is almost 170, that means 17 centimeter. 17 centimeter. 17 centimeter, the length is 17 centimeter and the breadth is 13 centimeter. 13, that means the long is 17 and the breadth is 13 almost. Okay, so it is the largest cell. You can imagine by if you have a small ruler scale which is present in the geometry box, so you can see that the size of the scale is almost 17 centimeter. So this is the 17 centimeter. Okay, so the biggest cell is the egg of ostrich. So what is the size of human cell? The size of human egg cell is 0.1 millimeter. So if you look closer to the scale, if you have any scale, so you could see this. I have this scale. So as you can see that these only two divisions, this one and this one, this one. Okay, let's look closer to it. So this one and the next one, this is called 1 millimeter. Okay, now if you divide the distance between these two by 10, you get 0.1 millimeter. So this is the size of human egg cell. Okay, human egg cell. So what is the size of red blood cell? The size of red blood cell is 0.009 millimeter. That means if you divide it, this one, if you divide 1 millimeter, 1 millimeter means this one. Okay, 1 millimeter by almost 1000, so you get the number. So you can imagine that how small the size of the cell is. Okay, so but I should say that there is no relation between the size of the cell of the size of the body of the animals. There is no relation between the size of the cell and the size of the animal. There is no relation. It is not necessary that if the animal is very large, then the size of the cell is also should be very large. It is not necessary for that. But if the animal is large, the number of cell is also very large. But the size should not be large, may not be large. Okay. So that's it for today. Next day I will discuss about the last part of the chapter, that is cell, tissue and organs. Okay, thank you for watching this video. Stay home, stay safe.